The button on Britney's shirt was a paid actor. No one on the set of Mute the Muse show was hurt or injured from this canon event. In efforts to unbig her back, moving forward, we at Candor Cam have tried to edit her button's escape as best we could. Viewer discretion advised. Mute the Muse. Mute the Muse. Britney Muse. Shout out. Shimmy the bop baby.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Brittany the Muse, and I am back with season 3, episode 2, and we out here. Today, listen, if y'all haven't noticed already, this season just been hitting. I got all the heavy hitters this season, you know what I'm saying? All of them. Like, you just watched the last one with Fresh, but today, personally, like one of my favorites, inspirational, why I keep going, why I'm potting, why I have a talk show right now. I have one of my favorite co-hosts from a show called, if you do not watch it, please watch it. Listen to it. Well, listen to it. I always say watch it because I'm so used to saying watch it because we all.
Or listen to it. They both work.
Yeah, that part.
You got people that do both.
Mm-hmm. We have Chad, which is part of a duo of the realest podcast ever. If you don't watch it, listen to it. What are you listening to? Matt couldn't be with us today.
Yeah.
But he's with us in spirit. We made a little space.
Got an open spot.
We got a little space for him in there. But I'm just excited to have you here. I was so nervous. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm like, yo, like this is a big deal for me, because like I'm a little fish.
It's no need to be nervous. What it really comes down to is when it comes to just the media landscape in general, I try to make myself available to everybody that's deserving and willing, and people that are open and transparent about what they're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, like once upon a time I was in the internet radio world, once upon a time I was starting all the way over as a podcaster, and I didn't have anything but my personal network. So I know how important it is to be able to have different people that have different audiences that can bring eyes, likes, shares. I understand all of that. Yeah. So, I never look at it like I'm anybody special or any type of big fish or nothing like that.
You're
I'm a big conversationalist. I like to, to talk to everybody, see their different editorial POV and stuff like that. So you hit me up, I, made sure that I made it happen.
Well, listen, first and foremost, again, I'm going to keep saying thank you. Thank you so much, because, I was a little persistent in the inbox at first, because I was like, hey, what's going on? But like, that's me. I can always tell people, it's like, you're not going to always you're going to get 1,000 no's, couple yeses, but you just got to have that confidence. Rejection is part of it. It's just part of the game. You send something to somebody, everybody's not going to say yes. You just got to be persistent, consistent, and keep going.
A little inside information for anybody out there that's reaching out to me or to TRPE or Matt trying to get, well, Matt doesn't have social media right now, but reaching out to me or TRPE trying to get stuff done, whether it be me solo or us as a duo or whatever. Once we get past the inbox stage, if I say, email me or text me or whatever, we're going to get it done. Like, if we just stuck in the inbox, we're not really getting much done, because like I'm not like a big social media person. I'm like on and off. I get on there, check what I need to check, look for different news stuff, whatever, post my stuff, and then I get back to real life. So once we get past the inbox stage, we make it magic.
Well, again, like, just thank you for being here today. So I guess we just get into it, because I'm still all like, all right, like me not. I had to lay out the snacks for him and everything. Was like, well, I was really excited. So
you had craft services ready. He was like, what you want to eat? I'm like, oh man, this is different. Like,
because I was really thankful. Like, people really be. They friend on you when they don't see a certain amount of numbers or a certain amount of followers or a certain amount of subscribers. They treat you like you a fucking bum on the street.
I was telling y'all behind the scenes. I won't say who the artist was. I told y'all, but I just went through it. I just had an artist, turn us down. They basically was like, oh yeah, the YouTube numbers not big enough. Come back when it's this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, when the YouTube numbers are bigger, who's to say I want to talk to your ass?
Right,
like,
that part.
And that's the part that people don't understand. And there's a bigger conversation that needs to be had about just the present media landscape, and the fact that most people, especially entertainers, still don't understand virality. We're on like year 15, 16 of like social media and the internet and all of that, and people still don't get it. And they don't necessarily understand that your biggest interview doesn't have to come from the biggest platform, or forget the numbers. Your best interview doesn't have necessarily correspond to the biggest platform. And, with that in mind, people turn down what may be a great opportunity for themselves all the time because they just strictly looking at data and analytics, not realizing most of this stuff is completely inorganic and it's like made up numbers. And like it's made to look like it's naturally occurring, and it's not. It's all BS.
It's actually random AF.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just jump right into it. But for people that don't know, I did give a brief intro to who he is, where he's from, what he's doing. But would you like to tell my viewers?
Yeah, for sure.
What we have here today? How long you been doing it? What's going on? What's new?
My name is Chad Fain, professionally known as C. Diddy. I'm one half of the realest podcast ever. I'm the creator of the show, executive producer, behind the scenes writer. I handle all of like our event stuff and everything like that. And, I'm somebody that basically I've lived a bunch of different lives. I worked in corporate. I worked in vehicle acquisition and vehicle services. I did corporate sales. And then at some point, I just basically wore out of that. I just burned out of corporate just because of a lot of the mandates and the day-to-day job structure and the rigmarole of just working in corporate kind of burned me out. And I had the idea of like, how can I maximize and leverage a lot of my network in order to be able to monetize myself and free up some more time for myself and be able to, still make money. So I was in the nightlife industry for about 10 years consecutively. I worked any and everywhere as far as like different venues. I've done concert promotion, worked with Live Nation, worked with Veli brand, different stuff like that, dope shows. I was, instrumental in helping them, behind the scenes planning a lot of getting their stuff off the ground. And in the midst of all of that, I basically had the idea to do this podcast. And the idea just basically came from, me and Matt forged a friendship over 10 years ago, maybe about 12, 13 years ago. And at one point, for a long time, we were neighbors. So that kind of assisted with it because we literally lived 6 blocks from each other or whatever. So that assisted because, I would see him on his bus route or whatever when he was working with SEPTA. He'd see me coming or going, or we pass each other in traffic. And then what time you get off? All right, cool. Come to the crib or come to my house or whatever like that. And we would start to, just kind of forge a friendship. And then later it turned into a brotherhood. And, we would have these different, conversations about all of this different stuff. And then I was just basically we should start recording this. And a lot of my big inspirations were Juan Epstein, Combat Jack, and then Taxstone. And Taxstone kind of solidified it for me. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm looking at the similarities rather than the differences. I'm like, all right, he's like a crazy nigga that get on Twitter and just say crazy whatever stuff. I do the same thing. Yeah. He's somebody that's, really in tune musically and has a big music acumen. And that's me also. And he has an honest, unapologetic POV. And a lot of times, I have very unpopular opinions or stuff that people may not understand in the moment, but people respect my unpopular opinions because I can defend what I'm saying.
You have the data to back up the opinion.
And with that, my track record for kind of calling a lot of stuff before it happens is on point. To that point, we had a live show last year for our anniversary that we do every year, and I was on there talking about the Tinder swindler. And nobody knew what I was talking about. And I'm throwing all this stuff out there. And literally that week, Cardi B got on Twitter and talked about it. And everything from there was my enemies, my enemies, my enemies. So it's little things like that. That's where it's I'm somebody that's a data miner. I'm a consumer of content and culture. And I be on a lot of stuff before it happens and before it pops. So I understand a lot of things on a cerebral level. And I think that kind of helps steer the ship when it comes to what we do with our podcast.
Wow. Damn. Come on now. This is professionalism. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Look at me. But that's so crazy. That's so dope. I'm absolutely inspired by you guys. I just really was. I've only been doing this for about 2 years. I've been talking all my life, but been doing this consistently for about 2 years. I started off just going Facebook Live. Had a little following there, and then everybody was like, "Yeah, it's not good enough. Let's step it up some more. Right. Oh, this isn't good enough. Let's step it up some more." And I just stay consistent, and this is what 2 years looks like, and I feel like we looking really good.
You know what's the best part about all of that? What you just said is that you didn't stop.
The
only thing that makes me and Matt any different from most other people, besides the fact that we educate ourselves. Like we independently educate ourselves on a lot of different things. So we don't just speak off of just like feelings and raw emotion. But even bigger and more important than that is that we did not stop. We had various opportunities where we could have been like, this has been a labor of love. We've been investing in this for a year, 2 years, 3
Yes.
years, and we would hit these benchmarks and we would just still just like, you know, keep pushing because there would be a Kicks USA here or a sponsorship there or
Yeah.
whatever. That'd be like, all right, cool. Well, you know, it's
Yeah.
a couple, it ain't life changing money, but you know,
Something in your pockets.
something that's a
Yeah.
couple bucks. And it's like, it's more than important than that. It's recognition
Yes.
that people are invested and they're present in the audience
Exactly.
because somebody's allowing us to like monetize this thing. So as long as you just stay the course and keep pushing forward and don't stop, you're going to get exactly where you're trying to go.
And I'm excited. I really believe in myself. I got like Kanye West like self-esteem with this shit. Like I don't care what
Yeah.
nobody talking about. Brittany, you ain't got, I don't care. Turn on your iPhone. We doing it. Let's do
Yeah.
it right now. But yeah, I'm still excited. I'm trying to like get all my nerves out. So I'm just I'm really transparent. I'm very honest. I'm using my notes. Usually my screen, I'm just telling y'all the viewers because people that watch me, usually I have my notes where you can see it. But now I gotta use my phone, so I don't want to.
Listen, I do the same
All right,
thing
but
every
some
episode.
some people are offended by it. Like, oh, this
People,
person on your phone.
when we did our Dr. Umar episode, people cursed us out in the comments for that. Like, we probably had like a 96% like positive like ratio on that episode. But the main thing, he was like, "Why y'all in your phone? Y'all
Phones, like,
disrespecting
no,
the good doctor."
yeah.
And I'm just like, "Yo,
These are notes.
These are notes. Like I'm staring,
don't
trying
have our
to,
screens
yeah, I'm
up
trying to
right
steer
now,
the
yeah.
conversation or whatever. Like I'm letting him do his thing. I'm like off to the side. They like, then I'm answering them in the comments from the page, and they're like, "Oh, all right, that's cool. Stay positive, brother." And it's like, you know, people reserve their right to be like mad
And
and
angry,
outraged and
yeah.
all of that. But it's like when you just, you know how to like talk to people and reposition and like sometimes you gotta explain yourself.
Exactly.
You
This
can
is
get them
true.
off
And
their
that's
ass
why
a
I was
little
doing
bit.
it. I'm like, I'm not being rude to Chad,
Yeah,
to Diddy.
yeah,
I'm not being
yeah.
rude to my guests. I gotta grill and all that. So I'm excited. I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. So while we're here, so we talking about podcasts. You've been doing it for a long time. You in the
Yeah,
game.
since 2017.
So I'm saying this. Nothing but veterans. I get nothing but veterans on here. This season is lit. So let's just think about it. I want to just think like, what was your most interesting guest, or like you could just say give weirdest guest that you had on a podcast?
Most interesting would have to be I don't know why I can't remember this guy's name because it's going to get on my nerves, but he was the chef of the year for Esquire magazine for 2021.
Okay.
And if I don't look this up and make sure I shout his name out,
Right.
I'm gonna be upset because he was a phenomenal guest. I'm just having like a little bit of a Omar Tate.
Omar T. Okay.
He's born and bred Philadelphian from Germantown. Operates a business in West Philadelphia now called Honeysuckle Provisions. He literally has his own like market that him and his wife operate,
wow.
where they have like organic foods and locally sourced meats and different stuff like that. But Andrew Tate, Omar Tate, I'm sorry.
I'm like, wait.
Yeah, Omar Tate did a bunch of different like pop-ups
Okay.
as the lead chef. And not only did he win Chef of the Year from Esquire Magazine 2021, he was in People Magazine's People to Watch
Oh, wow.
for 2022. And then there also was one of his pop-ups that he did at a restaurant in upstate New York that was basically called the greatest restaurant installation in history. And this is a young black urban guy,
Wow.
was a former drug dealer, been shot before, like the
Damn.
whole nine, and literally like turned his life around. And you talk about polish, like you think I'm polished and like the way like I answer questions and stuff like that. He was just so sharp, so succinct, so direct, and literally like having his mission of what he wanted to accomplish, not only for himself, but for his family and for his community. And he's somebody that left like a big impact on
Yeah.
us, where it's like we do these callbacks on the show where we talk about older stuff like that. And he's constantly somebody that we talk about a lot. So Omar Tate, bar none, was probably the most interesting guest. Strangest guest.
Yes.
We haven't really had a lot of strange guests per se, but we've
Okay.
had strange scenarios with people that were supposed to be guests.
Okay.
The 19 Keys situation being the biggest one.
But before he gets into this, we have this joke because of their podcast. If he's about to tell you the situation, but anytime somebody's about to like flake on you or you think somebody's gonna be late, me and my friends we have this thing where we just be like, "Yo, you about to 19 keys
About the
me, yo?
19 keys,
You about to
yeah.
19 keys me, yo?" So he about to tell y'all what happened. So let's
Yeah.
get into
So the
it.
19 keys situation is this. After we did the interviews with Dr. Umar and with the smart guy, and Core from Dream Chasers, we had like a run in January. We did all these like super good interviews back to back to back, and I was like, yo, who else can we get? And I was on YouTube one day and I came across 19 Keys content, and it kind of led me down like, a rabbit hole. And he basically had like this one video where he talked about like we're in an age of like digitation, automation, monetization, and something else. And he was very like real sharp, basically pulling info out the sky. Like he was like magical, like, the way that he speaks. And I was like, damn, like I'm gonna just take a shot in the dark and like reach out to him and see like if I can leverage
Right.
these other interviews into like, an interview with him. So I just basically, shot him an email, whatever, professional, super sharp, buttoned up email. And I'm like, hey, we're an independent podcast out of Philly, but we operate in New York also. We have a relationship with this studio and blah, blah, blah. We recently interviewed this person, this person, this person. Here's a link to the content.
Yeah.
We would love to interview you, in the next however many months or whatever that it takes. Keep in mind, this is in like February.
Right.
However long it takes, we let's lock it in now, and we'll just look forward to it or whatever. So they ended up giving me a date, which
Yeah.
was the first week of May. So it was like the first Tuesday of May.
Right.
So first Tuesday of May, we working through, March, this, and this. I'm in contact with his management. They confirmed and reconfirmed and all of that. I'm like, all right, cool, great. In the middle of all of that, he announces this tour.
Yep.
So he's going on tour, and he actually came to Philly, did the Keswick Theater, went to Harlem, did the Apollo Theater and all of that. And, he's like, yeah, I'm going on tour, but, y'all guys, I want to talk to y'all podcasters that's out there. You got a podcast or a talk show, whatever. Reach out to me, hit this email or DM me and woo, woo, woo. So I'm just sitting here like, all right, that's a little coincidental or odd, depending on how you look at it,
Right.
because like, we reached out to him way in advance of the tour, whatever, just off of him being a dynamic speaker. It had nothing to do with like trying to get on his tour routing. But, part of our scheduling was, we're going to be in New York the week of May 2nd through whatever, we can do it then.
Right.
So Tuesday, we supposed to do our show. The Friday before, we get an email. Hey, this is, I don't want to say his name, 19 Keys manager, whatever. We have a situation where Billy Carson wants to do an interview with us. For those of you who don't know, Billy Carson is like really big, black orator, thought leader, whatever, especially in YouTube communities and stuff like that. And I went and saw that they had a prior interview together, did like 1.4 million views and all of that. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to step on his toes as far as like what he's trying to do here. Cool. Do what you got to do. You gave me advance notice. I respect it. What's the suggested date we move this to? Let's move it to Friday, May whatever the hell that was.
Right.
At this time, boom. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. Keep in mind, his show at the Apollo was the night before.
Right.
So I'm like, that's a little odd. Because we have done like 12 live shows now, whatever, in Philly, Delaware, New York, DC, like all over. And I'm just like, yo, I know how drained I am after a live show, because it's not just about you getting up there for an hour or 2 hours and orating and talking. It's more so about all the preparation that builds into this, because I am my own project manager. I'm my own executive producer. It's like, so when we do produce events, I'm doing all of that soup to nuts. So I'm done. I'm beat after a live show, whatever. So I'm like, all right, maybe his situation is a little bit different.
Got assistance or something, man.
So, so cool. So Thursday comes, he has a show at the Apollo, sold out, this, and this. I'm like, oh damn, we gonna have a phenomenal interview tomorrow. I'm super hyped now. So I'm up early, ready, getting everything together, gather my team, this and this. Matt, Dan, yo, we about to hit the road, meet here, this time, we out. Soon as we're about to get on the road, I get an email from his manager that says, hey, sorry to do this to you last minute.
Right.
But 19 is in a spot where he just told me he doesn't feel like thinking today.
That's what funny.
And because of that, we got to reschedule this interview. He didn't say to when. He didn't say tomorrow. He didn't say 4 days from now. He didn't say when we get just an open-ended. Maybe we can try this again at some point.
Yeah. Was
When
it
we
today?
when we
Feel
I
like
don't know
thinking.
when, but some point we can
Right.
try this again. And I'm just like, I sent it to my whole team, and I'm like, yo, I don't know how to respond to this. What's my value proposition to somebody that just told me I don't feel like thinking today.
Right.
Like
No thoughts.
I can't make you think today. I can't force you to think today. I can't come to your hotel and bang on a room and act like room service and drag you out and make you come do a fucking interview. So it's like I don't know how to respond to this. So we powwow, whatever. I come back with a professional. I said, hey man, this is super unfortunate given the circumstance because I'm not even in New York right now. I'm in Philly. I'm traveling already. I'm lying. I didn't leave yet, but I'm like, I'm on the road already, whatever. I paid the book out of studio, this, and this on your word that we were doing this.
Right.
And I moved this
Already.
from my date that I had before y'all started all of this podcast tour BS.
Yep.
I was locked in and y'all moved me for a bigger platform and I could have stood on business and said no.
Right.
Do it another day. That's y'all to figure out. I'm locked in already, whatever. But I respected the fact that you were trying to, get something done. And the little guy in the scenario got stepped on and doing y'all a freaking favor or whatever the case may be. So that's my 19 Keys story. I still haven't amended anything with them. Luckily, the great people at WTF Studios were nice enough to say, yo, we'll just give you a credit for this whenever you want to come back. You got a 2-hour recording block, whatever. So I didn't completely lose out. But yeah, it was a thing where it's like, yo, I had to talk about that. Like I wasn't just going to let that go because when you're on the come up, those situations are 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, that's what happens to the person that's on the come up. You know what I'm saying? These small micro creators and, emerging creators and all of that, they're not going to get the same fair shake as Good Morning America or Revolt TV or, BET or whatever, because if it was BET, you would have felt like thinking for them.
Yeah.
You would have figured out a way to muster up the energy to come, early. You would have been early. You would have brought donuts. You would have shown up with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
With your best outfit on, ready to work.
And that's exactly how I felt. Like, that's why I was like, let me get the little snacks out for you. Because, for me, I just respect and I appreciate it. So it's like, but I like that you the point of view of being somewhere where you don't have that access to be able to get to big fish. And again, I'm going to keep repeating it. I'm so thankful that you're here. This is exciting. And you're fucking funny. Y'all are fucking hilarious. Like that shit is so funny. How I first got into you guys, my sister and we used to live together. She used to be in a room cracking the fuck up, and all you hear is these little faint voices. Because she's listening to it on Patreon, but I think she was listening from her phone.
Got it.
So I'm just like, all you hear was like, no, he did. Yo, he is so crazy. And like for a long time. So one day I'm in her room and I'm listening, and y'all were talking about something. I believe it had something to do with a scepter route. I'm trying to think how I was like first introduced to you guys. But she just was cracking the fuck up. I said, ain't no way it's that funny. So one night she was like, all right, I'm gonna give you, all right, I ain't get my own Patreon. I'm gonna be honest, I was on hers. I was on hers or whatever.
But that's a good way to start. I ain't gonna hold you.
But I was listening and I was just in the room like, because I didn't want to admit to her that these niggas was, because sibling rivalry. I didn't want to tell her.
You want to have your own thing, your own identity, and all that.
I didn't want to tell her that it was funny as shit, but I was cracking up, and then I was just a fan of it since. And then I just was watching what y'all do, and like I just absolutely inspired by, especially Philadelphia. I'm super Philly. Most people hate Philadelphia. Can't wait to leave Philadelphia. I'm not one of them.
Philly's tough, man.
I love
Philly's tough, and the reason why I'm still here is because, like you, I love Philly. Like it's like I had multiple opportunities to get the hell out of here and never look back in my 20s and my early 30s, whatever. And it's just like it's just something about this place, man, that I love so much, and it just keeps me here and keeps me grounded. And hopefully that one day it'll turn around. But it takes people like y'all to help it turn around, man. Yeah. We have an amazing creative community in Philadelphia that we don't get enough credit for.
We don't.
And they're just as talented, just as sharp as, the people in New York and LA and all these other places. And, unfortunately, the economics of this market suppress a lot of people's creativity, and they don't get the just due that they deserve.
Yeah, but you just got to make it. You got to keep going, be consistent, and figure out, make a way where you can make a way, if that makes sense. Yeah. One thing about me, sometimes I don't make sense. I say words. I can't say a lot of words. I can spell. I just can't say them right. That's just neither here nor there.
It's okay. DJ Khaled can't say jury. He says jury.
Jury.
Jury. Like
Jewelry,
that's
yeah.
that's in court, Cal. That's not that's jewelry.
Is it jewelry or is it
Jewelry.
jewelry?
Jewelry.
So it's like caramel.
Yeah, it's like
I think it's from depending on where you're from because they said.
depending on where you are in the country, people say it different ways. He just can't say it at all.
But just to talk about, okay, just one more word because I'm a weirdo. Like people in Cali, they say way we say because I didn't realize we had an accent until I started listening to people. Like I work corporate too, and I work remote, so you start hearing how other people talk.
Yeah.
So I was like, hold on, real quick, I gotta get me some water. He was like, water, it's water, and I'm like, it's fucking water. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But just the way people break things down, I don't know. The water really fucked me up, and I don't know if he was just exaggerating or are we saying it wrong. Is it not water?
That's definitely a regional thing. The way we say it, like my man Heck has a blog called Water Ice, WOODER, really a water ice.
Right, but I mean it's water. Whatever. Okay, cool. So we talked about your most interesting guest. We talked about an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
Don't 19 keys nobody out here, y'all. So we just gonna get into some fun stuff, just quirky things, just to get a little bit about you, or just to do a pop culture. I like to do a pop culture subject. So right now we talking about aliens on Earth.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What's your take? Give me C Diddy's take on aliens on Earth.
I hate to disappoint you. I don't know if I have an honest POV on this. Like I've seen enough movies. Marvel, Aliens, Predator. I've seen enough movies to know the level of creativity associated with the detail that goes into crafting some of these characters has to be based on some real life inspiration or whatever the case may be. And I also know we don't have Area 51 for no reason. With all of that in mind, I don't know what's behind those doors. Like I don't know and I can't speak to other people's experiences either because like you see the situation like that happened in I think it was in Nevada a couple of weeks ago where that whole family where it's like they recorded the thing in the backyard and the 7-foot figure. Allegedly the whole family's gone now. They've disappeared. We don't know where they
I didn't do the follow-up. I thought it was CGI. I'm like, when I saw it, I said it's CGI.
They saying that it's not. And they saying like they can't find the family now. It's like a whole thing or whatever the case may be. But it's something about like that region of the country and those flyover states and stuff like that where there's more extraterrestrial activity than anywhere else. Like they seem to be attracted to like open land and stuff like that in the event that this is real and it's not like our government working the fear machine to keep us distracted from something else and keep us turning our wheels about something that doesn't really have any real merit.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I'm as if they are real, I'm not surprised. And if they aren't real, I'm also not surprised. I'm not surprised one way or another. I can make a strong enough, people can make a strong enough case on either side, and I can be like, depending on the day it is and where I'm at, I'll be like, makes sense.
No, because like
I fuck with it. Like,
because how I am financially, like I said, I'm definitely starting from the bottom on the grind every day struggle. I was just like, niggas was like aliens come. I'm like, do the aliens believe in me though? You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Like I don't give a they said that's the shame of the world. We're so fucked up. The government says it's aliens. We like, yeah, all right, cool. Did y'all see these great prices?
Yeah,
Did you see the eggs went down to $1? Like niggas don't care about aliens right now. But for me, like, do I believe in them? See, me, I'm a real conspiracy theorist, but I'm not as educated as you guys because I just go strictly off opinion and how I feel, and I will fight and be absolutely wrong. Like me, I don't believe dinosaurs ever existed. When people ask me why, I'll be like, because. And then they be like, you don't see the skeletons? How you know they dinosaur skeletons? Like, how do you know? Because they told you? Like, that's me. And I also believe that outer space isn't... Okay, I don't believe in outer space either, but not in the sense of there is an outer space. But the outer space that they taught us, I don't believe that's what it is. Like...
And it's crazy because that's probably more closer to the truth than what they told us. Like, number one, we've never been to the moon. It was all bullshit. It was in a studio in Hollywood some damn where...
Niggas was just hill-toeing in the fucking green room.
It just didn't happen. And... If we went in the 60s, how come we never been back? So we never went to the fucking moon.
Like niggas just ain't at the moon today because we can go to the moon, right? Like niggas live from the moon.
So now you have like all these mega billionaires like, you know, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and stuff like that who have literally been to Mars or what we know as Mars,
right.
whatever the case may be. And they're making inroads to make it habitable for people,
yeah.
to live there, whatever the case may be. So yes, I agree with you. There is outer space, but I can't necessarily quantify that it's what they taught us in school.
But that's my whole thing, And this is me and my conspiracy theories with no actual data to back it up. That's my whole thing. Like, this is somebody who said something and we're just supposed to believe it because they pressed some buttons and they called it science. That's just me. Because my whole thing is like evolution. Everybody's like, we came from monkeys and apes. Well, why still monkeys and apes? Why ain't niggas just metamorphosing and turning into people? That shit just stopped. Like that just be me. So when it started with that, I just was like, so we just niggas ain't coming from tadpoles turning a little like that just doesn't happen anymore.
I think when it comes to not to get too deep on this, but when it comes to like creationism, I think that I'm closer on the Big Bang theory or like some form of divine intervention, rather than like evolution. If that makes sense. Like I just think that one day we weren't here and then one day we were. Like and through that, humans have evolved, but we were always humans.
Exactly. But my whole thing is that everybody's talking about aliens. See, me, I always believed in this animal uprise. I always believed animals were the aliens. Because think about it. You are taught about animals when you're a kid. The first thing, A's for apple, B's for ball, A's for what's the A animal? I don't know.
Listen, why was I thinking the same thing?
Animal. No, but listen, just think about
armadillo.
Sit with me for a minute. Sit with me, y'all. Sit with me for a minute. I always believe, and y'all know that my producers, my friends know I'm a weirdo. I always believed animals were the aliens. They already were here, and they taught us to. They're just like, oh, it's just an elephant. Just let it go ahead and do its thing.
Yeah.
But animals are really fucking terrifying. Like when you really look at these species, and don't get me started with the ocean. Like the shit in the ocean. Everybody's looking for the aliens. They're already here. Like, I feel like they're the animals, and it's just different types of aliens we about to encounter.
Somebody said that recently. I think it was like a rap or whatever. They was like, the ocean, the deep ocean is outer space. Don't ask me how I know. And I was like, nigga, making sense. like, it made sense to me because there's estimates we haven't explored 80% of the ocean. And every single year in like off the coast of South Africa, or coast of Australia, whatever, they find some new form of like, species of like underwater something. I don't even know what to call these things at this point.
You heard them slightly sort of agree with me that animals are aliens. So anyway, you guys.
Not all animals.
Well, like dogs are definitely aliens.
Anything that can exist in deep sea is a fucking alien. It's not normal.
For sure, but you just like just giraffes, just like a giraffe, just giraffing. Like that shit just normal to y'all. Like it's like just think about coming out the womb. Like if you were a baby, right? And you had what's the word? Cognizance? I don't know. You could know what's going on.
Yeah, you're
Imagine
aware.
seeing a giraffe as a baby, like what the, and no one told you, oh, it's just a giraffe.
Yeah.
But that they taught us since we were kids. They started with the alphabet to make it easy. Like a bear, it's just a bear. Don't worry. B is for bear. C is for cat. Because they wanted us to know, like, it's cool. They won't harm you. They're animals. Everyone, just let that hippo hippopotamus over there. But anyway, animals are aliens, and I'm ending on that. So, I'm just gonna try to wrap it around. I wanted to talk about female rappers because we gotta throw some music in there. I gotta take on music. So female rappers of the day. How do you feel about the movement? Now, when I say the movement, I just think it's all whole music right now. I mean, I don't know if that's polite to say because like
but it's real.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it? Like, are you for it? Are you against it? Is there any of you rocking with?
I'm not for or against it.
Okay.
I respect their right to do it, but I think they're doing themselves a disservice. I think that these women before we get to the whole music, we got to deal with society at large.
Yeah.
And right now, get the bag culture is above everything.
Yeah.
Fuck your moral compass.
So dirty.
Fuck your integrity. Fuck your parents. Fuck your kids. Get the bag.
Money.
Whatever you got to do to get the bag, it's all good. Oh, you sucked 39 dildos on OnlyFans? How much did you make? You got the bag? Cool. All right, bet. Like, it's all good. Let's try to go for 77 next month. We might get 77,000.
Yeah.
It's like that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, that societal, that decay of society, and the fact that we remove shame from the equation puts us in a position where women of a certain age, of, you know, essentially, because they all making the same music from 17 to 35 are all making the same music.
Yeah.
I fucked your nigga and he gave me a protect. I put this pussy on your nigga nose. I went in his wallet when he went to sleep. I stole that nigga Rolex because he's a trick. And I blew ecstasy in his ass and he's a hoe ass trick bitch nigga. And it's like, yo, my thing is, cool, got it. We got that. Your sexual prowess is on 1,000,000. Got it.
Sexually liberated.
As a woman, what else do you have to offer? And if your vagina and your associative sexual prowess is all you have to offer, you don't have much of a runway, because inherently, just by nature, all women have that.
Yeah.
Some women are more sexually adept and more sexually aggressive than others. Some are less. But for the right man, or for the right partner, because it's not just about a man being a man, but for the right partner, period, people can unlock those levels of sexual prowess.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, so it's like, once we take that off the table, what else do you have to offer? And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've heard these songs, I've booked these artists, I've seen them. It ain't much there.
No.
Like,
they're not even talented. Like well, not all of them. No, they're not talented.
and you know what the biggest dirty little secret about all of it is? They all have male ghostwriters and male producers that are writing these fucking disgusting ass songs, and they're just going out and essentially reaping the financial benefits of it, but not even the full sphere of the financial benefit. Because majority, like, if you, like, perfect example, I'm like a music industry guy. So like, if you don't write your song, you don't have any publishing.
Right.
If you don't produce your song, you don't have any royalties. So it's like, so if every single song that you have, you remade some popular song from the 90s or the early 2000s, so you got to pay anywhere between 30 to 90% of that royalty back to the original copyright owner. And you didn't write it.
Spitting jewels.
So you don't own the lyric or the melody of the song. So now whatever remaining percentage there is there, you don't even get to go home with that. So essentially, it's like reverse prostitution, where you got to go out on a track now in the form of doing paid shows in order to earn your living. Because you don't even own your creative license or your intellectual property.
Nope.
And it's like a thing where it's like, you know, on a very low hanging fruit level, the young girls that see it and enjoy this music and twerk to it and shake ass to it and go to concerts and this, they enjoy it because these are the conversations that they're having amongst their friend groups and this, that, and the third. But I don't necessarily think that they're aware of the long-term effects that this is having on especially black society, because we are dumb enough to take what we hear and live by it. We make it a ethos. Other cultures take it, turn up to it, shake ass to it,
and go back
home and go back to their data processing job. Like, they're not living by this shit. Our young women are living by this shit the same way our young men are living by this drill music and all that dumb shit. Like, they're making the mistake of turning it into a life hack. And it's not that.
Not that at all. So do you see longevity in this? Like, what do we call this music? Because it's not, like, I feel like we have to have a subtitle for this.
Jermaine Dupri said we should call it stripper rap, and everybody got mad at him. He said this 5 years ago, and they cursed him out and called him everything but his government name, and he's a loser, and who the fuck is he? I'm like, well, he's a producer that wrote and produced the
whole
most
90s.
And two of the most important, like, R&B records of all time, in addition to Bow Wow, in addition to The Brat, the first female. If anybody's equipped to have this conversation about subgenres, it's him. But y'all told him to eat shit and kick rocks. So he just said, I'm going to throw my hands up and mind my goddamn business.
They was trash him. That's why you lost Janet Jackson, you bald head bitch. Like,
like, what does that got to do with the point? We've reached the point of the internet where the internet is so prominent, and it's people don't unplug from it to where you can disrespect the legend and have accomplished nothing.
Nothing.
You can disrespect a legend from your mother's smallest bedroom in the house, right? And that's okay.
Niggas be on a toilet with 14,000
fuck 30 years
likes on a comment, and they thought they did
they
something.
won.
It's
Like
Jermaine Dupri.
they screenshot it. They shared it.
Like
Did y'all
friends,
see?
you made it to shade room. Like you successful.
Amber Rose liked my comment. Did you see it? Like,
yeah. So
the fuck what?
But the music is like, okay. So I'm gonna bring up one topic for one person. It's Sexy Red, because she is blowing up, and when I first came across it was on TikTok, and it was literally the lyrics. And TikTok is a very, very fun place for me. I get lost. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, TikTok is awesome.
It's very therapeutic, but it was just, I personally felt like that song was a joke. I thought it was a skit. I thought she was kidding. I don't know if this is an age thing for me, but I thought that she was fucking just being funny, like because originally it was, but I don't even think she completed the song. This is just me. So if anybody knows and can educate me on, if y'all follow Sexy Red or y'all a fan of Sexy Red, when I heard it, I thought it was a joke. Because she said, I'm out of town, thugging with my rounds. My coochie pink,
my booty hole brown. Yeah.
Where like the niggas? I was like,
it's like some Ronald McDonald EIEIO shit.
They used to make jokes about this in the 90s and skits like about hip hop. And we really sound worse than the jokes in the skits about hip hop. They was like, hip hop is bad. I walked in the store and I shot a man. Bow. I had a gun in my hand. Like, but that's how niggas sound today. Like the music.
We've regressed and on the whole. And the thing about it is that a lie told long enough becomes the truth.
Yeah.
And if you make bullshit, if you celebrate bullshit long enough, the bullshit becomes the standard. So that's what we've done. And no knock to Sexy Red, because she's getting her money and she's doing her thing. She's got a big record deal with Larry Jackson, who's the former global head of music with Apple and all of that old cool shit. She's doing phenomenal. And at the end of the day, her being able to use her whatever amount of talent we want to say she got in order to change her and her family's life, I'm down with that part about it.
Right, but
so that's why I'm not. So that's why I said I'm not for it or against it because of that part about it. Anytime black people make inroads to be financially successful, I'm down for that. But there's still a collateral damage cost associated to it that has a cultural impact and a youth impact, because like I said before, our kids are living by the bullshit.
And then it affects the impoverished. Like you can go ahead. So now let's say the people that make these hit records, now they're out of the trenches. They're out of the hood. Now they're living in Malibu. They're living in gated communities, but still selling this music and perpetrating this sound to people that still are down.
Yeah.
And they stay down and they try to because my whole thing is just to talk about these young girls. Like all them bitches got BBLs and they body done when PPA and all that money was coming out. All that still, and then the jokes were around just to still live in a project, but still to just still be a CNA. But it's true.
It is.
It's like your brain. These guys, like I think that attention on the internet should be also listed as a drug. Like attention should be also treated as drugs.
True.
Because people literally do anything for it, in any way or any shape or form, especially with hip hop music. All of these girls are getting their bodies done because they favorite baby mamas, their favorite rappers, all this, because they want to look like. I don't want to shout out Jada Waiter because she just got ref for filth on Shade Room by Summer Walker, but I don't mean it like that. But Jada Waiter has an amazing body. I
like
mean
Jada Waiter a lot.
I love her too. I just like her. She's beautiful. Her body's amazing. So all the girls want to look like Jada Waiter, but it's like your finances aren't in Jada Waiter.
Right.
Jada Waiter lives in Atlanta somewhere in a beautiful home.
And Jada Waiter is successful in her own right.
And
when a lot of the young girls, because they're so impressionable, when they looking at stuff, they extract what they want from it.
Exactly.
And they don't let the main thing be the main
aesthetic.
thing. They look at the aesthetic and the lifestyle and the Chanel bags and the cars but they're not looking at the fact that she is a successful brand owner on her own. Without Lil Baby, her lifestyle, they was broken up for 2 years. Her lifestyle did not diminish. She's still driving the same cars, living in the same level of fucking crib or condo, wherever the fuck she live, doing whatever that she wants. She's still jumping on private jets with her girlfriends and all that on her birthday because she's a multi-millionaire in her own right. And it's like, these young girls be missing the part about getting your own bag.
Yeah.
They're missing that part.
Okay, but sorry to interrupt, just to interject that, because while I was on the topic of that, I'm thinking about it as, at least I do notice that there's a rise in young entrepreneurs though, because they are trying to follow the lifestyle, but they are getting into the trades, the hair.
Did you there's a situation that just unfolded on the internet. Did you see with the girl with the tax? She was teaching people how to do credit repair or whatever.
Oh no.
She was originally, I believe, from like Indiana or whatever, ended up moving to Dallas or whatever, right? So young black girl or whatever, she claimed that she made $7 million in 3 years teaching people how to do credit repair.
Okay.
The shit blew up, whatever, because she was marketing it, hit the shade room, hit the spiritual world, this, and this. It was all a farce. It was all bullshit. Secretly, she had a workplace accident. She lost like portions of 2 of her fingers and got like a multi-million-dollar settlement. And that is where the money came from. But she hired like a data processor to manufacture like all of these orders and stuff coming in on her credit courses in order to stimulate fake demand for other people to actually buy it.
Wow, that's smart though, but
very smart. Smart but bad, because it ended up being a scam. Yeah. And then she linked up with, she was having sex with her data processor. That's neither here nor there. From there, she linked up with a bigger scammer than her that was like corporate scamming. He's charging $30,000 for a credit course. So now they absorbed their 2 companies into one another. And then once the fallacy got exposed, she tried to put hits on the people that exposed the fake shit that she was doing.
Jeez Louise.
So I say all that to say, you have people that are actually having money, possessing money in their own right. But they want to amplify and look bigger than what they are. So it's not cool to say, I got some settlement money.
Yeah, that'd be cool shit to say to me. Shit.
So now I'm going to make up this business that in reality is just failing, and I'm just spending my own money to make it look big or whatever, to the point where I'm now federally indicted for trying to do murder for hires on people for exposing me.
Well, I was just talking about bitches with eyelash brushes,
but this is, I'm saying this this is how big the lies can get.
So stop fraud, and then that just wraps it up to my favorite subject of it all: mental health. People aren't well out here. People need neurologists. Like people are fucking sick in the fucking brain. But I mean, the influence, I do want to just give a shout out to the black young girls that I feel like if you are like just trying to be goal oriented and just trying to get at a bag, but get at the bag the entrepreneurial way, get at the bag because I know how to do hair, get in the bag because I'm a makeup artist. It's a real big rise on them, and they making bank. I have a niece who is probably making about, let's say close to, I don't want to put her numbers out there, but she's making a good amount. I mean, like, I'm like, where you at? Oh, I'm just getting back from Dubai again. Like, nigga, hire me. I'll watch some scalps. Like, she's making money. So I just be like, you can get your bag. I love the independent. I'm like, get your bag. I'm on my business. Do what you want to do, because I'm going to watch it and I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to see what's up. See if I can
get your cultural critic.
See how cultural critic has a little splash to that. I might have to add that under my little thing. No, but thank you for coming. I know that just sounded like a wraparound, but it is a wraparound. But I really appreciate you for coming. I always end with just making sure, just a wellness check with the viewers, just see how everybody's feeling. Life is going fast. Sometimes you just need a minute. Everybody, some people are opposed to therapy. Some people hate therapy. Some people pretend they've been to therapy. What are your views on therapy? Like, how do you feel about
my advice to everyone is, whether you are doing good, doing okay, or doing bad, get therapy.
Yes.
Like,
thank you.
Get therapy. And more importantly, I have a close friend of mine that's an attorney, and he said going to a therapist was the best thing I ever did in my life, because it made me realize how unfair it was for me to use my friends and family like they were my therapists.
Wow.
Because although they can try to absorb whatever I'm telling them or whatever and try to do their best with it and give me what they think I want to hear, or maybe even it may be the right answer, when I leave, they're stuck with that weight of what I just told them.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, it's like people need a sounding board to be able to get their thoughts out there and have a stream of consciousness and say what they need to say, and release that fucking tension that we all have, whether it be from work, from family, from relationships, from children, whatever the fuck it is, trying to achieve something.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
All of that shit weighs on you. And it's like none of us, as much as we like to pretend, none of us have all the answers.
Yeah.
We can feign that we have a good amount of them or whatever. And sometimes I have a great handle on my life. Other times my shit is in shambles.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is to keep the same temperament through it all because like I'm not as good as I think I am and I'm not as bad as I think I am at times. It's usually somewhere closer to in the middle. And I say that to say we all have work to do. We all have personal development to do. And the best way that we can do so is one-on-one, independent with somebody that can offer you solutions rather than just venting to your girl or your boyfriend or your husband all the time. Like, that's not really going to get you nowhere.
And I'm absolutely glad that he said that. And you guys know, if you watch me, my favorite word, therapy. Get y'all some. It's easy. Also, if you having any bad thoughts or if anybody's in danger, the first thing you want to do is dial 911. Also, the number for the suicide hotline is down. They also have a text number that you can call for people that do not want to talk. I know how it is. You just want to text. The text number actually works. People do text back. It's not a fake thing. It's not like a subscribe for $4.99. It's legit. Please, if you guys feel like that you're in danger, you need somebody to talk to, please dial these numbers that will be below. And we are wrapping it up. I hate to wrap it up on such a dark note, but mental health is important to me. There was a time where I was down, I was out, and I was just like, bro, I don't know. I'm Brittany. I don't know why I feel this way. I can't control it. I want to break out of it. And somebody was like, let me just slide you this number right here. Just call. Just call this number. Like, it was real simple. I called it. It was Pennsylvania.
Got it.
It was University of Penn, a therapist.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I mean, I guess that you take my insurance. All right, cool. And it was like your friend said, the best thing that I ever could do for my life. And it was so simple and just was like my testament on just getting your health together, getting your life together, or just someone to talk to, like you said, good, better, and different.
Absolutely.
Just go. So I am so glad to have you here. I thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being on time. I appreciate everything for today. I wish you the best. I will be watching, I will be seeing and listening. If you guys have not, tell them where they can find you so they know.
The main hub for everything we do is our website, officialtrpe.com. Everything spelled properly. You can also follow me on Instagram, cdiddy.trpe or at officialtrpe. Our Twitter is back up now. We got deleted, but I'm back at still TRP. Yeah, I'm Xing now. It's no more Twitter. But they didn't X out any of the assholes on the app. But that's a whole nother story. Also, I'm not sure when this episode is coming out, but Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th, we're doing our first ever TRPE weekend to announce our network signing. We're doing a network partnership with a really big network or whatever. I can't talk about it yet, but it's huge. Like, it includes television distribution, on-demand services, audience share marketing, like the whole nine. It's like a really big deal. Thank you so much. So that's going to be getting announced at that event Saturday, August 26th. We got a live show with Mona from Don't Call Me White Girl podcast. She's going to be our special guest. We also have some other special guests that aren't announced yet that will be announcing closer to showtime. And then after that, we have our network signing party the same night at Reserve. And then Sunday, we're doing TRP Nation brunch at a secret location, very upscale venue, whatever like that, catered by Allure Appetit, which is the personal chef for Fred Van Vliet, Polo G, and a lot of other celebrities.
Oh, wow. Well, y'all heard it here first. If y'all, listen, get down where you fit in.
Yeah.
I said that wrong.
Get in where you fit in.
You see what I mean? I can't talk. They know. They know. See, you might be new to it. They know I can't talk. All right, well, listen, it's been great. It's been a good show. It is Mute the Muse, your virtual bestie, and we signing out.
Peace.
See y'all. Thanks for coming.
Mute the Muse. Mute the Muse. Bring the Muse. Shout out. Shimmy the